there friends, and welcome to Jenny's scrapbooking channel. I'm going to be making a layout this week and next week based on the third sketch from last year's scrapbooking workshop kit. The kit originally came with this lovely stripy paper, which obviously I don't have because it was a speciality paper for the kit. So I've sourced one from 3-4 years ago, which has pretty much the same colours in, but with one key difference: it has a white background. The paper that I would be putting alongside it has a lovely beige cream coloured background, and although it doesn't clash, I can think of better fits. Like, for example, this beautiful leaf paper that I was going to use from this year's one. It's got beautifully different colours of leaves, mushrooms, gold foiling, and a white background. So I thought to myself, I wonder what would happen if I swapped these two stripy papers over. The added bonus of this, as well as it looking really good, is that now both sides have got gold foiling in. I'm going to use this one this week and this one next week. So I'm going to lay everything out and just check. Yes, this will be my title. Grateful for this moment together. Now, I've gutted my backing card, as you can see, and I've got all my pieces cut down. I will go into detail of how I gutted it in a different video, but for now I'm just going to lay everything out and check that everything's the right size and ready to go. And then we can get it all stuck down and get embellishing, because that's the fun bit. I'm going to use the bit from the middle here at the front. I don't know if you spotted on the layout, on the design, that there's a piece on the front that's a sort of mat that goes across both pages. And it seems sensible to cut it out from the middle of the card, because then it makes the page a lot lighter as well. And you can guarantee that it matches the card at the back. So I've got a 1/4 inch border all around the top, the bottom and the outside edges. And again, this beautiful paper. It's beautiful on the other side as well, but I really like the leaves on this year's autumn paper. They've all got gold foiling and they're so pretty. And then this early espresso has got little tiny circles on. I say tiny, there are lots of differently sized circles on it and ovals. It is just beautiful. So I've cut all my pieces down, got them laid out. Yes, everything fits. I don't need to recut anything. This is the important thing about dry fitting. And I've got the border around the edge, and here is the piece for the middle. As I said, it goes straight across. I'm going to bring in some papers now that I was thinking about using as photo mats for the right hand page. Ultimately I decided not to go with any, but these were the ones that I was auditioning. I think actually I preferred to have just the white. I do have this one piece of early espresso that's just the right size to put my journaling on for this one, and it also happens to be just about the same size as my title. So that is perfect. And that's what I decided to... So I decided that I was just going to use my scrap for my actual scrapbooking and leave the photo mat on the right and maybe just ink up around the edges of my photo. As you can see, I've carefully checked that I've got it lined up with a same size gap at the top, in the middle and the bottom. Now I'm going to stick everything down and then we can get embellishing. My embellishments I've already cut out. I used an old die set called Timeless Arrangements by Stampin Up. You may or may not have it still. I know people often get rid of things when they retire, but then other people keep them for years. I'm keeping this one because it is just awesome. Look at this paper. Again, this is from an old set, but it's Cajun Craze little linen effect lines. So I cut out pieces in lots of different colours, including cream, which I obviously won't be using this week, but I think it'll go really well next week, and the same with the olive green. So there are these little ones with almost berry effect on the sides. and I cut that in two-tone brown, pecan pie I think, and then there was some obviously Smoley espresso, and then the larger leaves I've cut in different size, in different colours again. I'm just laying my pieces out. I decided that I'd go for one at the bottom of my journaling and another embellishment spot on the top left around the top of that photo, and then on the top right up here around the top of my upper right photo. I'm just laying out some big pieces so that, well, they're medium-sized pieces, to make sure that I've got the right number of pieces ready and available. These ones, it doesn't really matter, because they're going underneath a photograph. It doesn't really matter if I don't have the stalk, so long as I've got all the bit that I want to be seen cut out properly. It doesn't matter if I'm missing other bits. So I use up my scraps to die cut pieces out when I'm just using them like this on a layout. I love this set particularly because it's got this lovely bar on it, so you can build up all the pieces together to make your embellishment for either a scrapbooking layout or for a card front or for whatever paper project you're doing. It's just so easy to stick them together because they've got this bar across, and you've got two or three sets of leaves all in one, and you can make sure that they all line up neatly, and you can line them up around the edge of your photo. You'll see what I mean when I show you the finished layout. And for now, I'm just going to make sure that there are pieces that fit. And if you see, there's this lovely piece that goes round the corner as well, which is quite fun. I've used that a few times on layouts to just go round the corner on a square element like a photo or my journaling spot or a title, and it just works so well. And yeah, as I said, I'm making sure that I've got all the same sorts of colours and the same size pieces, and I'm the same types of leaves in all of them. In the top right and the top left, there's leaves in the paper that's behind. So I'm only going to use, at this stage I'm not sure whether it's one or two, but ultimately I decided on two of these medium-sized pieces on my top two clusters. But at the bottom I'm actually going to use more, because with the stripes behind, some of the thinner leaf stems just, for want of a better way of phrasing it, my eyes go funny, because the lines were not quite the same direction and not quite the same colour, not quite the same thickness, and yeah, so I've decided to put a row of the medium-sized leaves across the bottom of the journaling spot. Obviously they'll be poking stems up underneath the journaling. I cunningly didn't quite stick it down all the way at the bottom so that I can just tuck my elements up to make my embellishment spot. I'm just easing it up because cardboard, when you've kept it nice and flat for a while, it forgets that it can bend. So I'm going to arrange the different pieces, work out what I want where, and just go from there. This is one of my favourite bits of scrapbooking, where you've got all of the basic elements of the page down, you know exactly where all your photographs are going to go, or you've even stuck all your photographs down and maybe even done your journaling already if you're super organised. I'm not. But then you get to embellish it and make it, instead of looking good, it looks amazing. So at this stage, underneath the journaling, I'm thinking that I'm going to go with a mirror image across. I decided not to in the end, because as you can see there are a few pieces that are hanging off on the right hand side. I'm just trying a few other pieces out in different places to see what looks good where. And again, you might recognise the piece that I put up there first, just now, which is the same as the one that goes around the corner. One of the fun things about having leaves in the background and then sticking elements on in front of them that are some of them the same colour, some of them slightly different colours, is that you can very easily get a 3D effect, especially with this beautiful foiling in this paper. It just adds another extra element in, and it makes it so much easier to achieve the 3D effect that I was looking for with these leaf clusters. Some people might find that they're a bit too busy for them. I've made sure that there are the 4 different types of leaf in all three places. And I'm going to get them stuck down in a moment. I'm going to tidy up as I go along because that's the way that I roll. And yeah, so there will be, I still have my photos to print and then stick down. But this is what my finished layout looks like. My photos are going to hide these the edges of this embellishment clusters. And here is my left-hand page. Don't know if you'll be able to see the foiling, but this is my my final embellishment cluster. And underneath, I didn't go around the corner on the bottom right-hand corner of the journaling spot, so it doesn't hang over the edge. And then on this right-hand page, the foiling just catching the light beautifully there. There's my embellishment cluster again. I'm going to have 4 3x4 photos, landscape, 1, 2, 3, 4, just there. And then on this side, I'm going to have a 4x6 photo. And as you can see, it'll hide the bars that hold the leaves together. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing some of my craft time and your craft time. And I'll see you next time. Bye!